Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Invisible Condition. It's not all in your head. I'm your host, Jeff Pearson, and we want everybody with an invisible condition to know beyond the shadow of a doubt that you do have a voice, you have a community, and you are never alone. And speaking of community, I'm very excited to introduce you to my next guest. He's been on the show before. If you remember Zak Clayton, he's actually been on twice. That's the third time he's been on, by the way. This is crazy. I think he's one of the very, very few people that I've had on 3 times because he's awesome. Zak Clayton began his journey on June 5th, 2015, when a motorcycle accident revealed, wreaked havoc, basically was what it did. Totally wreaked havoc, turned his world upside down. And through some of the events surrounding what happened there, we'll get into it. His story is amazing. He created Community Pay It Forward. Who knew that was a tongue twister? A program designed to help individuals in need and support local businesses, which is awesome. In fact, Hydro with Hope is one of the recipients of his amazing organization, which I love. So Zak also established Community Dare to Care outreach and events, providing essential resources like clothing, furniture, and school supplies, and organizing community events. So he's just on fire, man. He's always doing something cool. So Zak and his wife Adrienne collect donations and give items to neighbors in need through Community Dare to Care, aiming to make it a 501c3 nonprofit by the end of 2024, which sometimes making stuff for 501c3 can take a while. So good luck. You never know. So let's welcome Zak to the show. He's got some really cool stuff going on. Let's see what he's up to right now. Oh, Zak, brother, this is good, man. I'm excited to have you back on here.
Yeah, it's great to be your co-host. You know, I mean, I'm on all the time now, and so yeah. Hey, Jeff, right? How you doing?
I know. I feel like it's like we should just make this a regular thing. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, you know, in between you being on my show, I'm on your show. You know, we're on quite a bit. I think that we might know each other better than some of our family members know us.
I mean, in some respects, yeah, maybe. I don't know, but I still have yet to see you in Greeley, though. I gotta get up there. I mean, I try to avoid it, but you know, I should probably get up there and say hello.
Well, I try to avoid Greeley too. That's the reason why I sit in my office all day.
I get it. Yeah, with the nice air filter in there to keep out the Greeley.
That's the smell of money. The smell of money. And truthfully, you know what? I grew up, Jeff, in a town called Garden City, Kansas, and Greeley has nothing on the smell of Garden City, Kansas. We had IVP on the east side. We had, on the west side. We had Montfort's on the east side. We had a feed yard that encompassed the whole north side of the town, and nothing but, you know, meat farms on the south side of the town. There was no upwind. Okay. the wind was still in brown, and it just was not comfortable.
No, it was not great.
Yeah.
I will say, I was in, I'm trying to remember, I think it was Connecticut a few years and years ago. And I stayed with somebody that lived near a paper mill. A paper mill has Momfort's hands down. Making paper smells awful. So
yeah,
Greeley's not too bad compared to that. But
to all of our friends in Fort Morgan, God love you, because those sugar beets.
Oh God, yes. Yep. I got a good friend who lives with his family there in Fort Morgan. He's a teacher in Fort Morgan. Hey, Zach, how you doing? If you see this, he and his wife and children live in Fort Morgan, and yeah, God bless them.
Yeah, I think Fort Morgan was the only place that I went into, and I went, whoa, no.
Yeah. When do we leave? Yeah.
This is wrong. Aunt Judy, I love you, but I'm out of here, huh? No.
Is that right? So, all right, man. We could do this all day. Let's get down to business here. We got stuff to do here. So okay, everybody. If you didn't catch Zach on one of his previous episodes, the most recent one I can remember was season 2, episode 4. That was I think that was the most recent one you were on. Can you just for those who haven't seen your other episode where we talked about your brain injury, tell us about kind of what happened and why that was a thing, with that motorcycle accident and everything.
Well, you know what is the most interesting, Jeff, is you've got me on. It's August 2nd right now. Yep. We are 12 days away from it being my 10th anniversary of this accident. It happened on August 14th. And somebody ran me off the road on my motorcycle, and I hit a fence going at about 25 miles an hour, and they decided. And the great thing is I was heading out to go camping. Okay, so I fulfilled the night's duty. I camped. Of course, I was going to go to a place without a cactus that I was laying on all night long. But unfortunately, the individuals came over, shut the lights off on my bike, and left me there. And I laid there in the ditch for about 7 hours. But I was found the next day, thanks to a couple of fisher individuals. I wish I knew who they were. I would, and if by some stroke of luck they're listening to us right now, Jeff, I just want to say thank you very much for helping me out. So it caused a TBI, and unfortunately, one of the things that I deal with every day, my invisible condition, if you will, is that I have migraines and memory loss at times, and just cognitive exhaustion, which is a blessing in disguise, because I was able to turn it into community pay it forward.
And for those who are not familiar, for some reason, if you've been watching this show for any length of time, you probably know what TBI stands for, but traumatic brain injury is what we're talking about there. And those can happen in so many different ways. And so whether it's surgery, or whether it's a catastrophic event like that, or whether it's, a fall or something. So yeah, they can be serious.
Jeff, and one of the things that we've learned with great programs that we try to help, like Stop Shaken Baby Syndrome, is that, even the smallest little shakes can cause TBIs to an adult. So imagine what it can do to an infant. So, I mean, your brain, as you well know, and as most of your listeners know, your brain is that one thing that they can't take and put a bandage on. If you break your arm, they're going to do the same to you as they're going to do to me. If they need to, they'll put a pin in it, wrap it up, and we'll go from there. They can't do that for a brain. It's like, well, we're going to try this. We'll see where it goes.
Yeah. Yeah, and once the damage is done, it's done, man.
It's
Not
done.
you.
Yep.
It's almost. I mean, there's people out there that are doing a really good job of helping people like you and I and millions of other people around the world with TBIs to cope and to do life, amidst their TBI. But I don't know if there's much out there that's like, hey, we can fix it, So yeah.
But I think one of the best things that we have going on, and I credit you for this, because we're showing people that TBI does not mean the end of anything. It means new beginnings.
Right.
It gives you new opportunities to do things that maybe you dreamed of pre-injury. Of course, that's not your case. You lived with yours the majority of your life,
Yeah.
but like prior to me, I went to work every day, and I said one thing every day when I went to work, and it's, oh, I hate my insert word here job, and it was a daily thing. I loathed my job, but I went there, I did my 70 hours a week, and then I jumped on my motorcycle. I went out and I started trying to help people in emergency situations. That was life for me.
Man, yeah, that's a lot, man. And I get it now. A lot of us with traumatic brain injuries, depending on the severity of it, it can really knock you back a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I ended up leaving a career of 12 years in a totally different industry than this.
Yeah.
And so because of some of the after effects of the recent brain surgeries, so it can really rock your world. So it's really, you can lay down and wallow in it, or you can stand up and say, what can I do in spite of it? And that's why that's why you and I get along so well, because you didn't let it stop you, like I didn't let it stop me. So we're doing something cool with it, and I love that. So yeah.
You and I, we've got a lot of mutual friends now, and we talk to a lot of people, and we work with a lot of people who their first thought was not, woe is me, what's going to go on with my life. Their first thought was, how can I help other people who are going through this? And Jeff, that's so important that's so important. And that's one of the really important things that we do with Community Pay It Forward, and you do with Hydro with Hope. It's like, look, here's the situation I'm in. Okay. Not that I'm going to compare my situation to yours, because I don't have a right to do that. But this is what my situation is. This is what I went through. Does this sound familiar? Okay. Well, this is what I did to make things better.
Yeah.
Think about that. If that helps you, maybe you can try that. If not, I can introduce you to great people like Mr. Pearson. I can introduce you to people like Stephanie. I can introduce you to all these wonderful people that we've met throughout the time, and we can find you to get around some of these blocks. And not everything about Community Pay It Forward is money driven. A lot of it is just resources. We want people to know that Hydro with Hope is out there. We want people to know the Aziza Project, that Dignified Dementia is out there, with all of these other programs. We need people to know that it's out there, because Jeff, you know as well as I do, the worst thing in the world to hear is, I wish I would have known about you before ... So we need to make sure people keep telling their stories.
Yes, that's exactly right. And that's why I'm so thankful for your podcast, and I'm thankful for this TV show that if you'd have told me 5 years ago this is what I've been doing, I'd have laughed you out of the room and said, what are you talking about? But this has become such a huge platform and such an amazing thing that I have come away with, even just doing this just over a year. I feel still like I'm in the infant stages of this. And we've amassed such a list of resources for people that I like, between you and me and a couple other people. I mean, we've got so much help to give that it's just awesome. So by the way, everybody listening, watching anywhere, Facebook, YouTube, E360 TV, or wherever you happen to be watching, if you have questions about anything that we talk about on this show, if you're going through a rough time and need financial help, if you want information about Community Pay It Forward, if you want information about Zach and what, his story and what he's been doing, and, just scan that QR code and it'll go to a website that you can get all that information and get in touch with him and see all the amazing things that's going on. So make sure I'll have this QR code up for at least the majority of the show. And so no excuse, man. You got scan the kid. It's super easy. Everybody has a phone now, and everybody seems to be obsessed with QR codes. So here we are. Here it is. So yeah. So what else is going on, man? You have got a lot. I feel like I've seen you so much on social media with so much stuff going on. What else has gone on the horizon?
We have just in which this is something that we haven't had a chance to announce a lot because we're still working on it, but we're going to be working with Arizona State University, and we're going to have an app created for us, and which is going to only help wonderful programs like yours to allow us to tell these stories better, allow us to spread the word a little bit better, and allow people to find this help that they need.
Yeah.
And we've also got a real incentive and a real drive that, we just want to make this the year that we get across to people that our program is very simple. You shop with any of our partners, we call them our giving partners, because that's exactly what they are. You go to someone like Mr. Z, who's a web designer in New York.
Yes.
Wonderful young man. Yeah. You go and you talk to Mr. Z in New York, and you have a conversation with him. You get to know him a little bit better. And I have never heard anybody who's had a bad word about the young man. So,
right.
But you take and you hire him on, and he gives my company $100. Nice. What we do at that point in time is we contact you back after you take a picture of your invoice and send it to us, and we say, hey, who would you like to support? Would you like to support a program like Jeff's at Hydro with Hope? Would you like to support a family? Maybe you know somebody who has broken their leg and can't go to work for 6 to 8 weeks. And, we all know the paychecks stop, but the bills don't, there still needs to be help there. So if you get them involved in the Community Pay It Forward program, we can try to help them. But you turn your shopping into a way to donate to people. We call it shop, click, and pick, because you simply shop with our partners. You click a picture of the receipt and you pick the mission that you wish to choose. Like I said, the great thing is that we're getting our word out there. There are so many wonderful people that we're meeting all over the spectrum of people who need help, and it gives us a chance to really, in my mind, one of the greatest things I get to do is I get to tell your story, Jeff. You allow me to tell your story and spread the word on what you do, because there are people out there who need to hear this story.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate you for doing what you're doing, because it helps so many people. I mean, Stephanie popped into my head too. I was like, man, what a story. So, who has also been on the show a couple times, which has been awesome. So, Stephanie Berman, if you guys haven't seen her show, we did one with her, and then we did one with her and her mom, which was awesome, to tell the story of her whole coming into this crazy world with everything she was going through, and that's quite a story. So telling stories is what it's all about. Telling stories of hope and people that are doing amazing things despite what they're going through. So this is all good, man. So, well, I've got a question for you, but I'm going to save it for the other side of the break. So everybody stick around. Do not go anywhere. We got more with Zach here on the other side of the break, and we're going to be talking about, I kind of want to, I'm just going to drop this in there just so you can be thinking about it over the break. I'm kind of curious is there a specific instance where you felt like the absence of, I don't know, adequate support or whatever, when you were going through your hell, I guess is the best word for it, with your traumatic brain injury, that like you wish that would have been there,
Yeah.
which is why you're doing what you're doing. So let's talk about that on the other side of the break. But everybody stick around. Don't go anywhere. More with Zach in just a couple of minutes.
Hey there. You know, every time someone comes into your business or website and uses their card to pay, a percentage of that gets folded back into the system. But it can go to Hydro with Hope instead. If you'd like your business to support us rather than feed back into the system, scan the QR code and we'll show you how to do that while saving your business money.
Does your to-do list have you feeling stressed? Does your list include tasks like responding to email and phone calls, collecting forms and paperwork, and sending quotes and invoices? Have you been neglecting posting updates to your social media accounts, email newsletters, or content on your website? Maybe you need help to get digitally organized. I'm Selena, one of the owners at Office Mercenary, and we're a US-based virtual assistant agency. We can take care of all of these tasks and more so you can get back to focusing on the things you love about your business. Our team is happy to work with you and your individual needs. So schedule a call with us, bring your to-do list, and stop doing the tedious tasks.
In a world where office workers typically receive 130 daily emails and have an 8-second attention span, CoreCentrica, with her 4 decades of international marketing experience, has partnered with the Learning Code Institute and their 30 years of neuroscientific research. Together, we are crafting unique messaging strategies that resonate, connect, and ultimately convert our target audiences. CoreCentrica, where award-winning creativity and disruptive neuroscience come together. Scan this code now, or call and click, and let us show you how CoreCentrica's partnership with the Learning Code Institute is influencing how businesses connect with their audience, foster engagement, and achieve conversions.
Hey, everybody, before we bring back Zach for the another segment, I just wanted to touch base with you about a community that we are launching on August 20th. It is called ICU, Invisible Condition University. And, we kind of want to, everybody hears ICU and they think intensive care unit. Well, we think Invisible Condition University sounds a little better. So we're going to flip the script on that one. And what Invisible Condition University is about is helping people that are coming into a condition, coming into a diagnosis, coming into some situation that they did not expect, hit them like a ton of bricks. They don't know what to do. Everybody's been there. If it's not you, it's been a family member or a friend. And you go, oh my gosh, who can we go to that can have that has resources, that can answer our questions, that can, even besides all that, can listen and relate and say, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry this is what you're going through. Let's figure it out together. That's what we are here for. Invisible Condition University. We will be launching August 20th. We will have Zoom calls available on the 1st and 3rd. Can't remember what day of the week that is. It's the 20th of August. It's it is a Tuesday, 1st and 3rd Tuesday of the month. I can't believe I drew a blank there. 1st and 3rd Tuesday of the month, starting on August 20th. And so if you are interested in hearing more about this or being a part of it, please, in the comments of wherever you're watching, if it's Facebook, YouTube, or email us at invisiblecondition@e360tv.com, invisiblecondition@e360tv.com, and just put in the subject line or put in the comments, I see you, because we see you. Okay. You are not forgotten and we want to help you. So, all right, let's bring Zach back on and continue this conversation, man. This is so cool. So we talked about a question before we went to the break, and I'd like to talk to you about Invisible Condition University as well after we get done with this, because I think we can do some cool stuff. So
yeah, I think that sounds so fantastic. Look, there is, the brain injuries can be so scary. Jeff, as you know that, as many people know that. Look, any injury is scary, and one of the things that we kind of forget that when we get injured, one of the first things that we think of is, oh my God, what's going on with my life? What's going to happen to me now? Oh, I wish this wouldn't have happened to me at this point in time, or even, I'm so alone. And that's one of the great things about what, ICU is that this is the first time it's happened to you. That's what makes this different, that this is the first time it's happened to you. Throughout thousands of years of evolution, it's really hard for us to come up with something that has not happened to someone else. Right. Chances are there's been somebody else out there that it's happened to. But so let's let their stories help you through yours.
Right. So exactly, and that's part of it. Because everybody's story, it's relatability, it's building of community. It's pretty awesome. We're excited. So. Let's definitely see how we can collaborate on that, because I think it could be really cool.
Sounds fantastic.
Yeah, man. So we talked about something before the break about maybe if you could describe like a specific instance that you specifically felt the absence of adequate care, support, acknowledgement, anything like with what you were going through like that, because especially with something as invisible as a TBI, it can, I'm sure that was part of it. I mean, right.
Yeah. And to be honest with you, it kind of went in two stages. Okay. The first thing I thought of, and I've been thinking about this a lot lately, and I think about this every time the anniversary comes up, and starts to come around, is I remember when I was opening my eyes again and I looked around and there were people around me. Yep. And Jeff, my first thought was, which is terrible, and I hate admitting this, but my first thought was, what if I was new to this town and nobody knew me? And when I opened my eyes, there was nobody here.
Right.
How scary would that have been? And I really did. It affected me more than it should have at that time, because I was thinking, hey, wait, you need to deal with you, because a lot of times we try to jump into something and we want to help other people before we even know what's going on with ourselves. And that was really my wake up moment on when I looked up and I got to see all these friends and family who were around me. I got to see my son there sitting on my bed with me and doing all these other things. And my first thought was, this doesn't happen for everybody.
Yeah.
And then the thing, there were two things that really happened to me that just really led to the creation of Community Pay Up Forward. And the first was when I went to go and try to get assistance for food, because I wasn't working, and they told me that I wasn't eligible for food assistance because I made too much money the previous year. Now, I'm a fat guy. Food doesn't sit in my house for very long. It just doesn't, and definitely don't sit in my house for a year. So, that was upsetting to me because, I'm trying to raise a family. I had a 12-year-old son who, he didn't give a damn how much money I made the previous year.
Right. Well, and what difference does it make? What it was the previous year you were fine. It's this year that you need the help. So I understand their standards and they got to compare it to something to determine what they give you and whatever, but determining what they give you now based on what you made when you were perfectly able-bodied and working how many hours a week?
I was working 70 hours a week, No wonder
you could get, that's easy. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And, it was kind of a kick in the gut that,
Yeah.
wow, look at this. I really tried to do things right. I really tried to work hard and make something of it. And now, now that I needed that help from them, they weren't there. And that was horrifying for me. And
Yeah.
it was being a biker. Yeah, I have that anger issue sometimes. And I went into it there. The second instance, Jeff, is a personal one, and that's when my son had a chance. My baby boy Justice, who's now 22,
Nice.
he had a chance to go to Germany, Switzerland, and Austria with a school trip, and because of my injury, it was $3,000, and of course we didn't, there was no way I could swing that. And
Yeah.
school tells me, well, we accept payments. And I'm like, of what, a nickel?
Yeah.
We can't make rent payments, and you're wanting me to, and I'll tell you, I would go through that motorcycle accident every day for the rest of my life if my son would have been able to go on that trip. That was the most painful moment I have ever experienced in my life, knowing that Justice's friends were getting onto a plane to go to Germany, Switzerland, and Austria, and he couldn't go. And, even though the accident was forced upon me, I felt like I was the cause of all that. And and that really is the reason why I developed the company the way I did, because, these are one of those things. And I know that we're very divisive when it comes to politics in this country, but you know what? No, I'm not getting into politics. Don't worry.
Oh, good.
But I don't care who the president is. If your kid works hard in school and earns that trip to Washington, D.C., we as parents shouldn't be, sitting there saying, I want you to go so bad, but we just can't afford it. When there's a community out there that we can ask for help. And if we can ask them, hey, you know what, you need to get this done. Can you need to get some coaching for your business. Can you just hire one of these coaches? And then, you can support us and get my child to, Washington, because I don't care who the president is. If your child earns that trip, if your child works their butt off and earns that trip to Washington to go see something that, look, let's be honest, Jeff, you and I would have to save a lot of kittens from trees to be able to go to, to meet the president and go get into Washington,
Right.
the White House. If your kid makes that happen, they should get to go on that trip.
Exactly. 100%. So that's where some of these partnerships that you have going on come into play. And so with Community Paid Forward, so what role, just throwing this out there, what role do partnerships with like community partners and mission partners and verified giving partners, and there's like all the different types that you have there. What can you just talk a little bit about those different ways that you can partner and how it can support?
The community partner is obviously, they are the most important partner that we have. The community partner is the one who needs to shop.
Yep.
And that should sound familiar to everyone, because that's everyone out there, all of us at some point in time, we need to shop for things. And so what we're asking the community partners to do is be the ones who initiate their shopping. Look at your to-do list. And then go to communitypayitforward.us or scan the QR code there. And if you go there, you can, type in what you need, a roofer or, as we mentioned, websites, coaching. I need insurance, whatever it is. And if we have a partner, it'll pop up in there and you can call them. And most of them, and this is one of the greatest things, is that it's no longer a lot of these places are no longer bound by borders. You can get all
Right.
this stuff from anywhere in the country, and you can really, it's opened up a way of shopping that has never been there before, because we're no longer bound to the people in our own area. We can let everyone everywhere compete for us.
Yep.
And so, but our partners, our giving partners, the verified giving partners, they're the ones who say, hey, you know what? We've got the best service. We've got the best doodads, doohickeys, whatever it is. Come and shop with us. And I think the other important part about that is you're not talking to some stock kid in a store asking them about this product or this program. You're talking to the people who created this product or program. You talk to the ones who live, update these programs. You're talking to the people who know these programs.
Yep.
So if there's ever any problem, you've got a direct connect to them as well. And, hey, you know what? This didn't work as well as I thought it was going to. Oh, let me try to figure it out. You're talking to the owner. You're not talking to some, somebody who doesn't even care. Hey, you bought it, you bought it, you opened it, it's yours now. So, and by simply shopping, the community partners simply shopping with one of our great giving partners, you get to pick one of our mission partners. And our mission partners are people in the community who are doing good or great things for others, or trying to get themselves in positions to where they can do good or great things. Whether it's a mom that's having a tough go of it to an organization like Jeff's, whether you're in a neighborhood that, you've been hit by a ration of graffiti, and you and the neighbors want to take and put together a barbecue to, paint over the neighbor's barn that got graffitied or something, or shed that got graffitied, and you can't get help from the government to do this. So hey, let's put together a cheap little fundraiser that, and when I say cheap, Jeff, it doesn't cost you anything,
right?
Okay, and all you have to do is go and shop with our partners. They don't mark up the price. This isn't one of those things where it's, would you like to donate the extra 14 cents? Simply shop with these partners. Tell them where you want the money to go, and we'll put the money into those people's hands.
I love that. Yeah, because it's nothing extra, right? You don't have to do anything extra. You're just shopping at a place, telling them where to put the money, and that's it. That's the cool thing, because a lot of places they almost have to mark up their prices so that they can afford to give, right? And that's not this at all. This is just purest form of giving. Just tell them where you want it to go. Yeah,
and business owners love this, because a business owner can give a referral, a cash referral to people. If they're going to be making sales, they're more than happy to give a cash referral. And what we're doing is we're just turning that cash referral into a way to help people in the community stand up. Because let's be honest here, it doesn't do anybody any good to be in business in a community where everyone is suffering.
Right.
And the other thing that we have going for us is, say, you're a restaurant, and you're in a place, well, guess what? Travel happens now. And we here in Colorado, as well as I do, restaurants, I'm really hoping that restaurants come back into the program. We lost a lot of our restaurants due to COVID because, they, but look, let's be honest, people travel here to Colorado. Well, people travel to your town too. People come in for different reasons. This is a way that you can get people in your own community to come back through your doors, because you're supporting something they support. We're not telling them who we love and who we want to support. We're asking them, who do you support as a person? And it's very simple. We just ask them to tell us, what touches your heart? And if as long as they've asked us to raise money for them, we can give money to them.
Love it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You put together something so simple. That's what I love about it. It's so simple.
Yeah.
So
it has to be simplistic because it was thought of by a simpleton. So,
hey, man, it's some of the most simple ideas on earth have made the greatest impact. So that is not necessarily a bad thing. So, all right, everybody, we got one more commercial break we're going to go to. And then I want to ask about one thing. When we come back, we're going to talk about hope, because that's, if you don't have hope, man, you're dead in the water already, honestly. And then also I'm kind of curious about one other question, but I'll save that for other side of the break. So nobody go anywhere. Stick around. We'll see you here in just a couple of minutes again.
Hi, I'm Jake, co-founder and CEO of One Hope. My friends and I started this company in 2007 out of the back of this truck on a mission to enrich people's lives through wine. Today, we've grown into a state-of-the-art Napa Valley winery that proudly houses a portfolio of award-winning wines which have touched lives through over 40,000 nonprofits at home and around the globe. And it's happening every day. Being rooted in local communities and contributing to initiatives that uplift neighborhoods, celebrate cultures, and promote community. It's what got us here. You see, through every bottle sold, your purchase can make a direct impact on the causes you care about. One Hope's cause of choice has given back over $10 million and counting.
The Club eFit Home Portable Gym System is a groundbreaking new system that can help everyone at any fitness level. You can be the happy, fit person you always wanted to be, and Club eFit can make that happen by helping you get the body you deserve in the time you can spare. With workouts ranging from cardio, core, to total body toning, it's easy to get started. Start taking care of you today. To make the change, go to clubefit.com now.
Hi, Eva Baca-Currents here, and I am the host of One Punch Superstars, where we meet real people who chose to fight for their hopes and their dreams and become the champions of their destiny. You can find us on Achieve TV every Tuesday and Wednesday at noon Mountain Standard Time, right here on E360 TV.
All right, everybody, welcome back. And thanks for being here, Zach. This is cool.
I just wanted to bring this up. I saw the spot for it.
Yeah, you did.
We run a program with One Hope Wine the first and third Wednesday of every month, where we highlight organizations like Jeff's, and we work with One Hope Wines, and we give them a QR code that every time they make a purchase, these nonprofits throughout the country get a chance to, spread the word a little bit. So I love One Hope Wine. We started with Stephanie Simoes, and now I'm working with Melissa Lozada as Stephanie is rebuilding as she's building her homestead. So, and doing a wonderful job.
And by the way, if anybody likes good wine, this stuff is phenomenal. This stuff is so good. So, it's amazing wine too. So it's not like, I mean, I know some people, when they think of like the candy bars for the Boy Scouts or whatever, that stuff, not everything that's for a fundraiser tastes good, right? Like, I don't know, but that is not the case with this stuff. This wine is world class. It's amazing. So
yeah, they've got and anybody who knows anything about wines, Robert Mondavi is one of their main people, and
Yeah.
you know, the Mondavi name is not a name that, you know, you might as well be saying Ford car. Okay,
Right?
I mean, there's a name there.
I mean, yeah, when you think of wine, you think of Mondavi's. When you think of clothing, right? Polo, Ralph Lauren, or
Yeah,
Cadillac, you know, or Ford or whatever, you know. Yeah, this is a big name. So
Yep.
yeah, that's no joke. So, well, hey man, just got a question for you. So with in regards to everything you're doing, you know, if somebody came to you, like what advice would you give to somebody that came to you facing their own invisible condition, that were looking for ways to make a positive impact in their community? Like if they wanted to, like you know, you've got something going on that could have knocked you for a loop and landed you on the couch to feel sorry for yourself, but you're doing something about it. When you run into somebody like that, what's your first go-to?
My first go-to is very simple. What you got? You know,
Right.
what are you good at? What do you want to do? Tell me about you.
Yep.
Tell me about who you are. Tell me about the things that mean something to you in your life, and you can maybe help lead people through or coach people through. You know, because if somebody comes to me and they want direction, the truth is that you've got to know what, you know, stay in your lane, you know, stay in your lane, know what you're good at, and go with it. It's if you try to get out there and you try to fake it, it's going to be easy to see.
Yeah.
Okay. I could go out there and I could tell you about all different kinds of things, but instead I'm going to take and introduce you to the people who I know. I'll tell you what I know, but then I'm going to say, hey, you know what? Let me make this introduction to somebody else who knows a heck of a lot more about this than I ever will.
Yep.
And the other thing I would say is, what can you do to have fun? Because giving is so easy. We put an emphasis on giving with money, and we shouldn't. Because there are so many other things that we can do. We run a program where we gave away hockey tickets with the Greeley Grit, a brand new hockey team.
Nice.
A brand new hockey team. And we asked kids one simple question. We asked them, what can I do today to change someone's life?
Yeah.
And we got some of the best answers I've ever seen. Everything from, telling the lunch lady or giving the lunch lady better recipes for lunches to, you know, helping
Nice.
the homeless to one person, you know, one child answered, well, I'd like to be there to help when an older person drops something on the floor, help them pick them up. And I told that kid I wanted him to follow me around because know who started growing that ground so far down there, but it's down there a lot further than it used to be. So
what are you talking about, man? You're not old.
Oh yeah. No, I'm not old. I've just convinced myself I am. But and then we got the answer, pray for everyone, you know, and it's one of those situations, Jeff, where the moms and dads really need to look at their kids and understand, wow, it's not about money all the time. We can do things. We can put that extra, you know, those leftovers in, as we call them, the old, you know, hillbilly Tupperware, throw them in an old butter bowl and heat them up and take them to someone who's suffering. We've all got clothing that no longer fits us. You know, don't take them to a thrift store. Just put them in your car. Find somebody who's suffering with the elements. Look, these are small things that you can do in your day that make a huge impact on someone's life.
Yeah, it's true. And it doesn't even, it probably isn't going to impact you as much as it will them. So you never know what somebody might be going through. It might, that pair of gloves you hand somebody in the wintertime, that can't be inside, could be the difference between frostbite and not.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. It's just a pair of gloves that you don't need anymore, but it's a big deal to them. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Well, one other thing I like to ask, and then we got about 5 or 6 minutes and we're done, man. This goes so fast. With you, it goes extra fast. I don't know why, but
it's because I never shut up.
I don't know about that. Come on. No. This is all good, man. I love having you on here. How do you, and I've asked you this twice before the other times you've been on the show, but I always love hearing the answer every time. And then we gotta go. But how do you, on your craziest, worst days, still maintain hope?
I know that my situations at times are bad, and I know that, but I know that there are people out there who have been through worse things than me. And I know that there are people out there right now who are suffering through things that are much worse than I go through. And where what I go through is maybe not comparable in my eyes. Maybe they'll see it different. Maybe they see that, I can't believe that this guy is going through this. And but the thing is that if I'm standing up, if I'm able to stand up and continue to do what my wife and I do, if we can just, and it's tough sometimes, it's very tough at times, but if we can continue to do what we do and show people that, this can be done, we know that we can change lives, and it's just a simple thing. I don't ever want to quit because there are too many people that don't deserve to have people to quit on them.
Right. I love that. Yeah. And that's how it feels sometimes, when you're in the medical community and or even any community, and if somebody says, I just can't help you, I can't, like the doctor that told me, well, I guess you're just going to have to live with headaches. And I said, no. And we went looking elsewhere, but it's, when you get that news, you want to have somebody to go to. And so that's why I love what you're doing. So,
and once again, you know what? I may not have the answer, but we're not going to stop looking until we can find somebody who can help you discover your own answer. It's not up to other people to find your answer, but if people can suggest a pathway to your recovering, and so let's build this community. Let's work together. No one needs to go it alone when we all come together. That's our motto. That's what we live by, just real quick. One of the things that I learned very early in this is we took our cue off Facebook and we broke eggs over our head. Okay. To raise money for, to raise money for someone. And we did it by saying, hey, you know what, if you give us $1 and give us a share, the 5 of us will take and break an egg over our head at our local adult beverage establishment. It took 3 minutes to get the $50. And so we changed the rules. We said, you know what, we're going to do this to where if you get us to $100, then we'll draw 5 names and you each get to break an egg over our head and we'll have fun. We'll give away the money. Well, awesome. It took a little bit longer, took about 7 minutes. Okay. So it came time for the event and we walked in with 3 cases of eggs. Now, Jeff, if I would have known how much eggs we're going to go for, I would have sold the eggs and made this family millionaires. Okay.
Right.
But hindsight is not one of the things, 3, and we just told them it's $1 an egg. Come and get it,
Yeah. Nice.
No more than 45 minutes worth of work total. No
Yeah.
more. And having a lot of fun.
That's
Gross,
amazing.
very gross.
Yeah.
Fun,
Yeah.
but it
Well,
was fun. And
exactly.
the dad came up to me afterwards, and we ended up raising $789 for the family of a child who lost her life to leukemia.
Wow.
Okay. And the dad came up to me and gave me a hug, and he goes, why? Why did you do this? Jeff, my answer is then and is now. I don't need to know you to care. I just need to know that you need help.
Right. And that's why we love Zach. So thank you for being here, brother. We are out of time, of course, because the hour always goes so fast, but thank you so much for being here, man. And thank you for what you do and for what you continue to do. And just, yeah, I appreciate you so much.
Not a problem, Jeff. You know, I'm here whenever.
All right, man. We'll see you in just a minute. Here we go. Everybody. That's what it's all about, man. If you don't know Zach, reach out and have a conversation with him. He is one of the coolest people you'll ever meet in your life. And you know, if you're loving seeing these guests on this show, please like, follow, share, subscribe, all the things. And if you want to be part of Invisible Condition University, remember, put an ICU in the comments and join us for our next show on Tuesday, August 6th. And until then, have an amazing day, and we will see you next time.